This view is everything. Shit, I could get used to this. That's right. You can see a lot more when you're standing on the top floor and stuff.
Hello, this is Les Brown, Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy. We've been talking about unleashing your infinite greatness, working on and developing that winner's mindset. I'm telling you, as you look at your goals and look at your dreams, do not neglect, do not overlook the value of constantly working on your mind. I think that James Allen, in the classic that he wrote, As a Man Thinketh, I think the analogy that he used, that the mind and those thoughts are like weeds. You cannot kill weeds. You can stop them from growing for a while. You can overpower them, but the moment you stop doing the maintenance work, those weeds will grow back. If you are losing weight and you make good choices in terms of your food and your eating and your exercise, and you stop eating right and stop moving your body, you're going to gain more weight than the weight that you lost. And the same thing as you work on yourself and your dreams. If you stop working on your mind, and let me tell you, and I'm telling you this from a place of experience. I accomplished a major goal when I had a talk show. I can see myself now walking through the studio in Manhattan. King World had been promoting me. I was going to be the male Oprah. And I remember Mike Williams, my mentor, walking behind me saying, Les, this is not the mountaintop. This is just the journey. This is just a place we're passing through. And I remember my ego saying, this is as good as it gets. And I got so busy doing the rehearsals and doing the training to be a talk show host, I stopped reading. I stopped listening to my audio programs. I stopped working on myself. I stopped my prayer time and my meditation time. I was too busy being a celebrity. And then when it came time to do the show, they said, action, lights. And I choked. I choked. And I remember when Mike came up and said, Les, what's wrong? Brownie, what's wrong? I don't know. Come on, man, where's your energy? Where's your personality? Be yourself, Les. Just be yourself, Brown. Be yourself. And I said, Mike, how do I do that? How do I do that? I remember there's a line in Lift Every Voice and Sing by James Weldon Johnson. Lest our feet stray from the place, our God, where we met thee, lest our hearts drunk with the wine of the world, we forget thee. I forgot who I was. I was disconnected from myself. Those negative thoughts said, this is too good. Something is bound to happen. And it did. Death and life is in the tongue. It did. Thou shalt decree a thing that shall be established unto you. It did. It did. Those negative thoughts, my doubts, came back with a vengeance when I was reading the teleprompter and I would make a mistake, and the people in the audience who could see the teleprompter and they read it flawlessly, my mind reverted back to, that's why they labeled you educable, mentally retarded. Now you understand. You can't even read this. And these people who are not being paid any money, they can read it flawlessly. Oh, it's very important. It's very important. Don't stop working on your mind. Don't stop working on yourself. And yes, that mindset is important, and continuously giving birth to that part of yourself that's lying back there dormant, stretching yourself, challenging yourself, raising the bar on yourself. Reinvention is so important. Now more than ever before. See, you want to become intelligently ignorant. See, according to the laws of aerodynamics, a bumblebee isn't supposed to fly. But the bumblebee doesn't know it. It's not supposed to be held up by its little puny wings, but the bumblebee keeps on flying anyway. You don't know what you can't do. And whenever I'm speaking to organizations, I tell people, I want you to think about your goal and dream, and I want you to expand it. And I said, and every time a negative thought creeps in and tell you can't do it, that the dream is too big, here's a mantra that I use that can snap you back into reality. All I need you to do is say, Barack. Just say, Barack. See, when you have a goal and dream, sometimes you need an example to tell you, wait a minute, If he can do that, or if she can do that, I can do this, because what's possible for one is possible for all. We're living in a time that anything is possible. You can do more than you can ever begin to imagine. Don't go through life playing small, being a spectator. No. You're here for a reason. Working on that mindset is very important. Reinventing yourself is very important. Challenging yourself and stretching yourself every day is very important. Having accountability partners, people around you that'll call you out, that'll challenge you, that'll push you, that will stretch you beyond your wildest dreams. Can't see the picture when you're in the frame. So you need people who can see some stuff in you that you can't see. People that can take you to a place within yourself that you can never go by yourself. I do it all the time when I'm working with speakers. I see stuff in them because I got trained eyes. I can pull stuff out of them because I know I've been there. But they could never do it by themselves. Same as myself. And here's the next step. Not only it's important to have a winner's mindset to bring out your greatness and reinvent yourself, to bring out the greatness and have accountability partners that you can learn from and grow from, but the P stands for passion, persistence, and perseverance. What do you love? My favorite book says, where your heart is, there your treasure is also. See, I love selling. I love influencing people. I love impacting people. I love taking on new challenges. I love talking to people. I love training people. I love helping them to discover their power voice. What do you love? I love serving people. What do you love? What turns you on? What is it that if you could do it 7 days a week, 24/7, you would? Is there a career, something you love so much that you do it for nothing, but you do it so well that people will pay you to do it? I love what I'm doing right now. It's my passion. See, it's the difference between being in something and that something being in you. It's the difference between being in an industry or being in a business, and the industry or the business is in you when it's your passion. It's a different kind of thing. It's who you are. There's a merger that takes place. You and that become one. There's something magical that happens when you're in your lane, you're in your zone, you're on your path, you're doing what you do. Because it's you. It's you. What is it? That's you. And sometimes we know that. But most people don't know. And you've got to be willing to experiment until you find out what is it. And you know what I found? That sometimes life will push you. When you don't know what it is you're supposed to do, and it's a part of your destiny, life will interrupt you. I think when people lose their jobs, when I lost my job as a disc jockey, I barricaded myself in the control rooms at WVKO radio station. They had to call the Upper Arlington police to tear the door off the hinges to take me out of there. I did not know that waiting for me, that in my future, after radio, that I was going to become a motivational speaker, that I was going to become an author. I was going to become a television talk show host. I was going to become a speech coach. I was going to speak to thousands, millions of people and change their lives. I was going to earn millions of dollars. I did not know. I understand what Helen Keller meant when she says, when one door closes, another door opens. But most of us spend so much time talking about looking at the closed door, we don't see the open door. And I say, when there's something in you, when there's a passion in you, and passion is God's will in you. Yes, God's will in you. That's what passion is, that it must be expressed. And Marion White said, in life, when you don't have enough courage or insight to know that you have outgrown a situation and it's time to move on, life will move on you. See, there's certain people that have been chosen to do a certain kind of work. As much as you have chosen the work that you're involved in, you were chosen for it. I'm reminded of Nat King Cole, called the most articulate singer in the history of the world. He was a jazz pianist, recognized for his skill at the piano. And then one night in a bar, one of the patrons said to the bartender, tell the man playing the piano to sing a song. And the guy said, what do you want him to sing? He said, anything. And he went over to Nat King Cole and said, one of our patrons would like for you to sing a song. And Nat King Cole said, I don't sing, but tell him whatever he wants me to play, I will play it for him. So the bartender went back to the patron and said, he doesn't sing. He said, but whatever you want him to sing, he will play it for you. Man, this man can play, as you can hear. Guy said, look here, my wife has left me. I'm going through some tough times right now. I want to hear somebody sing a song. Tell him he doesn't have to be a good singer or anything. I just want to hear some singing right now. And so the man went back over and said, Nat, can you just sing something for the man? He said, you don't have to be a good singer. He just want to hear a song. He's going through a tough time. His wife has left him and he's going through a tough time. He said, man, you didn't hire me to sing. You hired me to play, and that's what we're doing. Tell him I will play. I don't sing. I don't do that. And so the bartender went back to the patron and said, look, I didn't hire him to sing. I just hired him to play, and he won't sing. So just tell me what it is you want him to play, and I'll see that he plays it. The guy said, look here, I've spent over $1,200 here tonight. If you can't get him to sing for me, I'll get up and go spend my money somewhere else. And the bartender went over to Nat King Cole and said, sing or you're fired. And Nat King Cole held his head back, closed his eyes, and said, Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa. Let me tell you something. Who'd have thought that was the birth of one of the greatest voices we have ever heard? That's how Nat King Cole became a singer on that night. And because of that, the world is a better place. What song are you sitting on? What gifts, what talents, what abilities? Dr. Howard Thurman, is it the ideal situation for a man or woman to die? Is to have family members praying with them as they cross over. He said, but imagine, if you will, being on your deathbed and standing around your bed, the ghost of the dreams, the ideas, the abilities, the talents, the passions given to you by life, but you, for whatever reason, you never pursued those ideas, you never acted on those dreams, you never used those talents, you never activated that passion. And there they are standing around your bed, looking at you with large, angry eyes, saying, we came to you, and only you could have given us life, and now we must die with you forever. If you died today, what passion, what dream, what gifts, what abilities will die with you? Maybe that's why Henry David Thoreau said, oh God, to reach the point of death only to realize that you have never lived, only to realize that you've never scraped the surface of your potential. Maybe that's why one woman asked in a moment of anguish, what if you live your whole life only to discover that it was wrong? That was wrong, that God had so much more in store for you, but you decided not to live your dream, not to live your passion, but to live for a pension. You decided to play it safe. Let me tell you something. There's no safe position in life. No, there's no safe position in life. You can't get out of life alive. Nobody's figured out how to get out of here alive. You've got to die to leave here. So, live your passion. Don't live for a pension. What is it you love? Where your heart is, there your treasure is also. And through developing your mind, reinventing yourself, having accountability partners surrounding you, and activating the passion in you, and with persistence and perseverance, you can do some incredible things. I want to read something to you I saw recently, and this piece here, it was in a book called How to Turn Failure into Success. And this is called The Code of Persistence by Harold Sherman. He said, number one, I will never give up so long as I know I'm right. Number two, I believe that all things will work out for me if I hang on until the end. 3, I will be courageous and undismayed in the face of odds. 4, I will not permit anyone to intimidate me or deter me from my goals. 5, I will fight to overcome all physical handicaps and setbacks. 6, I will try again and again and yet again to accomplish what I desire. 7, I will take new faith and resolution from the knowledge that all successful men and women have had to fight defeat and adversity. And 8, I will never surrender to discouragement or despair, no matter what seeming obstacles may confront me. Wow. Harold Sherman said a mouthful. See, when you have a passion and you are persistent and you're willing to persevere, or you're going to have some tough times. Think it not strange that you will face the fiery furnaces of this world. You will have tribulations, not might. You will have tribulations. Life will catch you on the blind side. It will drop you to your knees. You will ask yourself whether or not you're crazy. When I was sleeping on the floor of the Penobscot building, the 21st floor in Detroit, Michigan, in pursuit of my dream with Larry DeAngie, who wrote Pursue Your Passion, and Alexander Wims, my cousin Boo. In pursuit of our dream, I was sleeping on the floor and I was questioning myself, can I do this? I remember my fiancée invited me to have lunch with her friend who was a psychiatrist named Rosalind. And Mildred said, Les, tell Rosalind what it is you do. I said, well, I'm a motivational speaker. Have you started speaking yet? No, but I'm developing myself. Do you have any college? No, I don't. And who are you going to speak to? Major corporations like AT&T, Procter & Gamble, McDonald's Corporation, General Electric, and the Fortune 500. Have you ever worked for them? No, I haven't. Do you have any experience in the things that you're going to motivate them to do? No, I don't. Have you learned anything about what they're doing? I'm in the process of learning right now. And you've never done this before? No, you have no recommendations for you? No, I don't. And so you're going to practice on them. Well, you might put it like that, but I'm going to be very good. And how much are you going to charge? $1,000 an hour. That's more than what I make. And I'm a psychiatrist. Mildred, can we go to the restroom for just a moment? She said yes, and they got up and left. And after Rosalind left, Mildred said, listen, Rosalind said that you need some help, that you're suffering from delusions of grandeur. She broke off our engagement. She said, you have potential, but you don't have any money. And I think you need to get some help. And I moved into my office on the 21st floor of the Penobscot building. I had to bathe in the sink down the hall. I hid in the closet when the janitorial service came up to clean the offices at 2 o'clock in the morning. See, in the good times you put it in your pocket, in the tough times you put it in your heart. Willie Jolly said a setback is a setup for a comeback. You have comeback power. I'm telling you, 8 out of 10 millionaires have been financially bankrupt. With passion and persistence and perseverance, you can snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. Who would have thought? The janitor seeing me run down the hall in my Fruit of the Loom after bathing in the sink. Who would have thought? Sleeping on the floor. Who would have thought? When management called me up to their offices and said, Mr. Brown, this is an office tower. It's not an apartment complex. We understand you're sleeping in your office. Who would have thought? A person standing before him on that day, years later, would earn over $55 million. Years later would be on television. Years later would produce 8 public television specials and earn millions of dollars. Who would have thought? I'm saying to you, you've got greatness in you. The things you can do, you don't know. The people that stand around and talk about you, they don't know you. They have no idea who you are. Eye has not seen. Ear has not heard, nor has entered the heart of mankind what God has put in you, what he's put in you, what he has installed in you, what he's deposited in you, and chose you, what God put in you and chose you out of 400 million sperm to bring it to the planet. Yes. What is your passion? What do you love? What is it that if you had in your power to do, to earn money, to do, to make a difference for our youth, for our senior citizens, for the planet, for our environment, what would you do? What would you do? What will your legacy be? What will that be? Most people, when they die, because they don't know they have greatness within them, they leave liabilities rather than a legacy. That's different for you. You're different. You are uncommon. One great American said, "I choose not to be a common man. It's my right to be uncommon if I can. I seek opportunity, not security. I do not wish to be a kept citizen, humbled and dulled by having the state look after me. I want to take the calculated risk, to dream and to build, to fail and to succeed. I refuse to live from hand to mouth. I prefer the challenges of life to the guaranteed existence, the thrill of fulfillment to the still calm of utopia. I will never cower before a master, nor bend to any threat. It's my right to stand erect, proud and unafraid to face the world boldly and say, this I have done." The only reason that you're listening to this program is that you have this uncommon urge and hunger in you to go up to the next level. The only reason that you're still listening is there's something in you that says this is not as good as it gets. There's more in you than you have been expressing. Simba, you are more than that which you have become. Yes. You got greatness in you. I don't care where you are right now. I don't care what you've gone through. It doesn't matter whether you have money in the bank or if you don't have 2 dimes to rub together. That doesn't define who you are and the value that you bring to the planet. You were born to win. You are here for a reason. Don't ask what is the meaning of life. Ask what is the meaning of your life. That's what you control. As you develop that winner's mindset, as you reinvent yourself, as you continue to respond to your accountability partners and continue to push and challenge yourself and live your passion, the world will never be the same again because you showed up. I want to leave this with you. First of all, I know that everything that I've said, that you already know it. I've not said anything that you don't already know. It's common sense, but not common practice. I'm clear about that. Everything I've said, you've heard it before. And yet, we have to hear things many times, again and again and again, and according to the context of our lives, according to where we are, determine how we hear those things. You can go to the movie, you see something, and then you see it again, and you see something or hear something you did not hear before, because your life is in a different place. My favorite movie is Forrest Gump, and when I hear the line, "Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get." When I say that now, I know what that means. When he said it at the time, I thought it was funny. But I have come to know that's serious. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you are going to get. You have greatness within you. And when you find out who you truly are, it's not an egotistical thing that happens. There's something humbling about it, because you know that what you have, that passion, you know that it's a gift. And it's been said that if it's a gift, then that implies a giver. So you have nothing to be arrogant about or egotistical about. That life is God's gift to us, and how we live our lives is our gift to God. Trust me on this one. I don't even know you, but I know this about you based upon my own experience. You've got greatness within you. As you listen to this program over and over and over again, your life is going to be in different places. You're going to go through some things, and you're going to grow through some things, and some things I'm saying, it doesn't make any sense to you, but there will come a time that everything that I'm saying will make sense for you. Yes, it will. And so I want to repeat something. How do we get that greatness out, Les? How do we do that? How do we develop that? You talk about mindset, and you talk about reinventing yourself and accountability partners and passion and pursuing that passion, living that passion. It's hard, Les. It's hard. Yes, it's hard when you got bills. It's hard when your relationship is not working. It's hard when you're not successful, talking about telling people they're successful. It's hard, Les, when you've had as many defeats and disappointments as I've had, and you're sick in your body, and all kinds of things are happening to your children. Are not turned out the way you wanted them to turn out. Your marriage is on the rocks. It's hard. Life is hard. And I say, in order to develop and to pursue your greatness, it's hard. And it's not your destiny. It's a choice. You got to make some hard choices. And trust me on this. If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, your life will be easy. Think about that. So I'd like to leave this with you. My mother loved this. I don't know what you want to do with your life. I know that you've got greatness within you. I know that you continue to reinvent yourself and have yourself surrounded by people that will hold you accountable and hold you to a higher standard, operating from the thinking of Henry David Thoreau, who said, "Do not go where the path may lead, but go where there's no path and leave a trail." I know that as you begin to live your passion and pursue it with persistence and perseverance, you will accomplish some things in uncommon hours. You will begin to operate at a higher level of being and achievement that will cause others to look at you with admiration and marvel at the things that you do with your life. I like to leave this with you, as my mother used to love to hear me say. Mine is to challenge people to discover themselves and to discover the greatness within them. Mine is to help people to discover their power voice. Mine is to impact our youth, and mine is to challenge myself and to find out what's left, what else I've got in me that I don't even know. Mama used to love to hear me say this, and I dedicate this to you, to the dream in you, to the passion in you, to those talents and those gifts in you that God put in you from the beginning of time to bring here on the planet. And it's simply this. Leslie, yes ma'am, mama, say that thing for me, boy, that makes me feel good. I dedicate this to you. And it says simply this: if you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it, if all that you dream and scheme is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it, and if you gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it and lose all your terror of the opposition for it, and if you simply go after that thing that you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold poverty, famish or gulf, sickness or pain of body and brain can keep you away from the thing that you want, dogged and grim, you besiege and beset it. With the help of God, you'll get it. This has been Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy. It's been a plum-pleasing pleasure, as well as a privilege. You've got greatness within you. Unleash and unwrap that greatness. We're waiting for you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, this view is everything. Shit, I could get used to this. That's right. You can see a lot more when